Right, so, we've done a lot of work in this world recently. Like, we've finished the item sorter, we've made a bunch of farms, but one thing we haven't really worked on in a while is this train track. Welcome back, everyone, to the Hardcore Create mod. We're up to episode 16 now, and yeah, I kind of thought some of you guys were here. I have been hearing these guys in my walls for ages. You guys have all got really inconvenient crossbow timings. Yeah, can you just, ow? Thank you. But yes, you heard me correctly. I feel like we have been neglecting our train track a little bit. Mate, how do I even deal with you? I'm just gonna leave that. That's a lot of arrows in the floor. But yeah, so I feel like we have been neglecting the train track a little bit. Like, we put it here a few episodes ago, and, we kind of just haven't touched it. And whilst I don't think I can really, expand the train track much, because, it's not really got anywhere to go right now, we could at least work on getting the stuff we need to expand it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we are going to start work on our brand new farm in this area. I want to see if using some of my new knowledge, because I have actually learned quite a bit in my recent farms and storage system and everything, I want to see if I can automate the production of train tracks. And for once, I am actually working on something where I know that it is possible. When I looked at this farm, I didn't know if this would actually be possible to make. And it's kind of the same thing when I came up with my whole storage system and mining operation here. I didn't know if it could work. But this one is one of my first farms where, no, I know that this can happen. So I suppose this brings up the question, how do we begin automating train tracks? And this is where I do actually need to remind myself, even though I know that this is possible, I haven't done it in ages. So if I am correct, it's something like a slab. Okay, so it can be any of those slabs. Interesting. Why did I think that this had to be smooth stone? But anyway, so it is kind of what I remember. It's basically just a slab of some sort. We're probably gonna go with stone. That would be the easiest to automate. And then we have to deploy 2 either iron nuggets or zinc nuggets. And given the fact that we can farm iron quite easily, yeah, I think that's gonna be our best bet. My one question is, though, how do we time this? Because, it requires repeating a step several times. If it was something a bit like our compactors or something that are in this bit, it's not something as simple as this. This just works whenever it is ready or something. It's the basin fills up and then the mechanical press comes down when it is ready to do that recipe. But with the making of train tracks, it's a little bit different, because basically now we have to actually time things. This requires absolutely no timing. It just goes when it's ready. But making a train track, we have to actually time that so that we only deploy 2 iron nuggets. Otherwise, we're wasting our materials. But we also have to make sure that it doesn't go too fast either, because then we might end up missing it. Because, yeah, if we don't deploy the iron nuggets fast enough, then our stone slab is just gonna go flying off the end of the conveyor belt or whatever. That's if we even use a conveyor belt. This is the thing. I have no idea how I'm going to make this farm. All I know is I'm going to need a stone generator. I'm probably going to have to make a new iron farm for it. It'll probably work a little bit like this or something. We've got some sort of stone farm here and it's just washing it into iron. And then another stone farm where I don't know, imagine we were taking this and we were smelting all of the resources up. Oh, and then we've got to automatically turn it into a slab as well. How do people do this? Dude, I start what sounds like a simple project and then it turns out it's got 50 problems to solve. Hold on, let me get some signs just so that I can actually make this clearer for myself. Right, okay, so we start out with simple stone production, which actually I'm going to change that to stone farm. Then we grind some of that into gravel. But we also take some and smelt it into stone. From that, we wash the gravel in order to get iron. Now, we also need to turn the stone into stone slabs. Now, I am wondering if there's some sort of, like, mechanical stone cutter here. Because, like, we've got a mechanical saw. Is there a way I can make... I don't see any. Do I have to use automated crafting? Because that would suck. Let's see. How can I get you? Block cutting. Oh, wait. Hold on. Was that not a mechanical saw? Oh, wait. Oh, it uses the saw. Okay, I thought the saw was done with wood only. Okay, wait. So take me back to the mechanical saw. Upward facing saws process items. Cool. So I assume there's a way we can add a filter to this. Saws work in line with mechanical belts. Makes sense. Okay, so we can add a filter to it. Brilliant. So basically, we can just put saw to stone slabs. I'm gonna need some more signs. Now, somehow, we have to move things under a deployer. So I am going to quickly ponder a depot or something to see if there's an easy way to move items across them. So the thing is, this is bringing up mechanical arms, and I don't have a mechanical arm, so I'm hoping I can do it without one. But maybe I'm going to need one. Provide items to mechanical arms. Yeah, brilliant, but... is that it? Not great. Now, I have also had a comment saying that I don't need a depot. I can use a conveyor belt, but a conveyor belt requires very specific timing, which I think would be a little difficult. So I'm hoping maybe I can avoid that. Have I got a hand crank somewhere? I want to test something. Let's say that we have a sort of belt coming off of here. Which way does that need to spin? Right, okay, so this spins onto it, so I assume that will put something onto the depot, correct? Yep. If I spin this the other way, yeah, it doesn't take it off the depot. That's expected. I don't want to use more of these smart chutes because it doesn't feel right. It feels like there should be an easier way to do this, and I feel like I should discover it now. But just for the sake of an example, if we have a smart chute there, put cobblestone on that. That looks like that pulls through, correct? Yeah. It does. So I can use a smart chute, it just doesn't feel right. Surely there has to be a better way. There has got to be a better way to get things on and off of deployers. But the question is, what? What is a weighted ejector? Placed ejector will now launch objects to the marked location. Supply rotational force in order to charge it up. Items placed on the ejector cause it to trigger. If inventories are targeted, ejector will wait until the... Huh. Using the value panel required stack size can be configured. Right. Okay. And we can launch animals. Is this what I need to use? Can I use this? Because I think I have an idea here. I think I might have an idea for how we can do this. I'm just wondering, can a weighted ejector also act like a depot, though? Like, could I essentially use a weighted ejector as a depot in a way? Right, how do I make one of these then? Depot, cogwheel, and golden sheet. Right, okay, that's easy. In fact, we have plenty of gold in here. So if I power this with a hand crank, ejecting block, no, well, there wasn't anything on you. Okay, so that's the stack size, and that's also the, okay, so that's just the same thing. Right, if I use the hand crank here, do I have to wind you back? Right, okay, so I can wind you back like that. Now, since you don't have a rotational input, if I put that there... Huh. That is not what I expected you to do. But the mechanical press definitely did activate. Right, okay, so if I power it, I think that's powered. Now, let's see. Yes, that does work. And then I could unpower you and you would launch. Right, okay. And if everything is working at the same speed, then theoretically, yeah. I think I've got an idea here. This is an absolutely mad idea, but I think I do have one. Right, so it said that a weighted ejector wouldn't do anything if the item slot, like where it's going to land, is full. So let's just quickly bring you guys back into position. We are going to power you specifically, so the front one isn't going to launch. And then, I don't know, let's just put a shoot. Actually, no, hold on. How do I assign you a target? Sneak and right-click holding an ejector. Oh, okay. Wait, so hold on, give me this. So if I do that, there we go, target selected, and we'll put you there. Right, so that says how it's going to launch. Now, you are powered, so you're not going to do anything. So what I assume that means is if I go and take something that I can throw again, like another bit of, let's go iron. So what could theoretically happen here is basically that gets... Right. Hold on, we're just going to use this for the sake of imagination here. So that winds back. This is currently occupied, though. But then, so if an item gets stuck... Stop doing that. Right, okay, if I put an iron sheet on there, then hopefully the iron ingot doesn't get launched. But if I do something like that, that's going to crush a lot of it. I may have just accidentally wasted... quite a bit of iron. Oh well, who cares? It's renewable. In fact, we're literally going to need to make an iron farm for this to work. What I am hoping, though, is when this is done, is it going to launch all of that onto here? Because you're not powered, so you're not locked. Okay, it works. And then, I assume as soon as that's unpowered, yep, there we go. So, I may have just worked out a way to do this, although I'm not entirely sure. So what if essentially it works as like a massive chain or something? So basically, like, slab comes onto here, then you deploy an iron nugget onto the slab, that then gets thrown onto here, where a second iron nugget gets deployed onto it, then it gets thrown onto the next bit where a mechanical press pushes it down, and then finally that launches into a container. Could that work? It's a bit of an insane idea, but I feel like it could. The one thing is, I feel like this is going to fire too early. It's kind of just going to wait for all of the deploys to happen. Can I put an item filter on you at all? I don't think I can. I think I can just, yeah, I can just set like a stack size. What if I set a stack size to 1 or something? Would it then refuse to pile up? I have no idea how this works. I'm just wondering if it would refuse to pile up and therefore the previous one wouldn't do anything. Would this just be easier to use the chutes? Probably. The chutes would probably be easier. I just really feel like I shouldn't. I just feel like I should really learn how to not rely on all of these chutes, even though they're easy. And the fact that they're easy probably means that they're right. But I just don't want to. This is the exact same thing that gave me such a massive problem when, like, it came to all of the drilling operations in here. It's like there was a really easy solution, but I just didn't want to do it. So instead I took several hours. Okay, I do have some redstone in here. I just needed to check that. I just feel like there's a better way. I've got an idea. Okay, so this still requires a smart chute, but I wonder if the item filter on this is set to an iron sheet, would this thing then refuse to deploy until it's an iron sheet itself? So, like, is that going to refuse to... Okay, noted. So we can put an item filter sort of thing on that. But then the question is, if we're doing something like this, what is the difference between doing this and just putting a smart chute under the depot? Because it would honestly do the exact same thing, really. But I can see a way of making this really compact. And I can't see a way of doing that without this system. Well, without an item filter of some sort, and we can't filter these. So do I just have to use an item filter? Is that the result? What is a turntable? Uses rotational force to create motion sickness. Okay. Now, the other option is we look into mechanical arms. How do you actually make one of these? Huh. That's cheaper than I thought, depending on how cheap this is. Oh, what on earth? Repeat sequence 5 times? Wow, that is expensive. And it only gives you an 80% chance. There's just a chance that it doesn't give you it? That's insane. What is a brass funnel? Okay, brass funnels just work with a full stack. That's not what I was interested in. Okay. I think I know what I'm doing here. I've got an idea and I want to work on it, and annoyingly, it does still involve the filters, which I was really trying not to use. I genuinely was trying to avoid using filters. But like, I don't see an easy way of making this without them. Although, I am entirely open to people suggesting improvements in the comments and stuff. I probably won't improve the actual farm once it's built and stuff if it works, but your knowledge could still be useful for future farms. So yeah, if you do have a suggested improvement, please tell me. Oh hey, we never actually finished this. Oh well, I know what I'm doing now. The one thing is, I just need another deployer, and I know I can make one, but like they're a little bit expensive and they require an electron tube, which I really don't want to craft. Do I have a spare deployer anywhere? I don't think I do. It does seem like a weird thing to just have spare. Yeah, I don't seem to have a spare one. Unless, maybe, what about back over there? Do I have a deployer, or at least the stuff to make one? Nope. I could steal one from the tree farm. Do I? No, I shouldn't, because this tree farm is useful. Yeah, I don't have a spare deployer. I just need to make a new one. Oh, this is gonna be expensive. It's just the electron tubes. I just really hate having to get more electron tubes. Right, okay, so I should just need 2 deployers, a mechanical press, and anything else? I don't think so. Although I will need a couple of andesite funnels. Right, okay, let me sort of show off my idea. I think you guys are gonna like this. I call it the spiral because I mean that is literally what it is. It's a spiral. So as a little bit of an explanation of what's going on in this, because I do understand it looks like a mess, because it is, just like everything I make, really. Basically, up there you have deployer number 1. That is what deploys the first iron nugget onto the slab. Then the result of that deploying gets chucked into this chest by going through the smart chute, which then chucks it out onto this thing, where suddenly the second iron nugget gets deployed, then triggering it to fire out again into another chute, which goes into another chest, which goes onto another ejector, where finally the mechanical press comes down and goes twang. And at that point, we should finally have a finished train track, which gets chucked along into here, and there we go, that's how it works. The only thing that it really needs is, well, it needs all of the resources for it. But, you know, seeing as that is the most complex part of it worked out, this hand crank isn't needed, by the way, I think I'm gonna stop wasting your guys' time and I'm gonna actually build it. As for where we're going to build it, I am literally thinking of right here. So yeah, let's get to work. Okay, so be honest, how many of you knew that I was being an idiot? So first of all, like, how many of you knew that the spiral wouldn't work because of a fundamental flaw which I can't really explain? Well, I kind of can. So turns out these incomplete track pieces, despite having different progression, they are not considered different on the item filters. So basically, our spiral had a flaw where it would deploy the first iron nugget, making it this like barely complete track. But then, because it's not considered a separate item to the other, essentially it would just get chucked all of the way to the end, get stuck on the depot underneath the press, and because it hasn't had the other iron nugget deployed, it would just simply refuse to work. So that was the flaw with the spiral. The other reason why I have been a complete idiot is because I didn't know that deployers would stop items on a conveyor belt. So all of that stuff that I was talking about earlier with the timings and having to line it all up and stuff, yeah, it's completely irrelevant. It is completely irrelevant due to the fact that deployers will just stop an item on a conveyor belt. You don't have to time it. Man, it's almost as if the people that made Create Mod thought about this kind of stuff. So yeah, I have been a bit of a complete idiot when it comes to making all of this, but it does now work. So a little rundown of what this is doing. Also, I really need to work out a better way of powering stuff because, like, there's only so many water wheels I can fit in these things. I swear, these things are getting less efficient every day. Like, almost the entirety of everything in this building, all of the item sorters, the conveyor belts, the crushing and everything, almost all of this building was powered with just 10 large water wheel. I think it's now up to 12 or 13 because it got overstressed when we added so many compressing things. But like all of that was powered so well, and yet this thing for some reason needs 4 water wheels to run. Why? There's so little in this. Although, I have heard, so I was watching a Mumbo Jumbo video where he actually plays with Create Mod, and from that, I have actually learned that maybe I should try and get some goggles. Like, I don't entirely know how we get them. How do you get them? Tinted glass. Okay, so it's not the worst. Oh, it can actually just be any glass. Okay, so you know what? I could probably make one of those, and basically, it shows us all of the power of everything, which is actually probably a really useful thing to have. So you know what? Let's actually see if I can make that. The one question is, do I actually have string? I do not. Well, okay, it is getting dark, so can I just get like a single spider, please? I don't want to be out too late. I don't want too many mobs, because that's when it gets dangerous. I would just like to see if there's a single spider somewhere. Why is nothing spawning? Absolutely nothing is here yet. Come on, it is dark. There are stars. Why are there no spider? Why are there no mobs? There's mobs around here all the time, and then the one time where I actually need one, there's just nothing. Where's all the mobs? There we go. Spider. Right, you better drop string, I swear. It didn't. Come on, I really hate being out here. Dude, come on, why is there no spiders? Surely there is a single spider somewhere. Why are there so many creepers and zombies? Where's a spider? Dude, I'm actually going to need sleep because of the number of mobs around, but there is not a single spider. And of course it's raining. Right, you're a spider. Come on, drop a bit of string. There we go, finally. Gosh, that took longer than it needed. No, that is a creeper by my doorway. Brilliant. And a skeleton with an enchanted bow. This is why I didn't... Why am I seeing so many spiders now? Can these guys have arrived earlier? Brilliant. I'm stuck. There's a creeper wandering around inside my base, and I can't get to any of my beds. Right, hold on. Can I... Right, no, we're safe in here. Okay. Right. That was way more stress than it needed to be. Okay, so crush that for me, please. Right, so engineer's goggles. This is what I've been looking for. Now, I think we do need to... Yeah, that looks so ridiculous. It goes completely underneath my skull. Hold on, what happens if I turn off the outer layer? Yeah, you can kind of see it there. You can see that there is a strap on it. But because of the way that my skin is designed, it just goes completely underneath it. That is ridiculous. Okay, so now with my surgically implanted goggles, let's go and take a look at something. So I think what these do is basically, it tells me how much energy is in the contraption or something, and it also tells me how much is left, but I don't know how. When looking at blocks, kinetic, right, okay, so it shows that. Doesn't it show stuff when it's placed? Do I have to look at the water wheel? What do I look at? Ah, this. So yeah, currently this has 512 SU going through. What is SU? I have no idea what SU is. And then, does it also appear if I look at cogs or something? No, it doesn't. What about drills? Okay, so it shows that the drill is taking 32 SU. Oh, whoa. And what? Hold on. So the deployers are taking 500. Oh, wait. No, that's the press. So the deployers take 256, and then the bloody press is taking 512 itself. So does that mean if I added another mechanical press to this, then it would just break? Actually, wait, hold on, we can go and test that. Give me this. So if I just go and attach this here, Yeah, overstressed. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to make the assumption that SU stands for, like, strength units or something, but I have no idea. One thing that I do want to quickly see, though, is how much SU is going through this contraption, then. Because there are several massive water wheels on this that... Oh, it just tells me the single water wheel. That's... so depressing. Or is that telling me what's remaining? So if I take out this... No, it still just says 512. I don't understand how this thing works. Oh, well, not my problem. It's not really a massive concern. But yeah, so here is our train track farm and stuff. So as I said, it would... yeah, I went completely off tangent there, didn't I? So yeah, it's all powered by 4 water wheels. We have these wonderful drills on a cobblestone generator up here. These 2 back here are both going into a crusher, which is chucking out gravel. Oh, we got an iron nugget finally. That takes ages. I can see the quantity of items. Oh, that's so nice. And yeah, then there's this other drill, which is going into a blasting chamber. And basically, that's taking out the stone that we're chucking out, and it is putting it through this saw thing. Ow, 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 okay. And that is set to filter it so that it only turns stuff into stone slabs. And interestingly, if you chuck a different material on here, it just passes over completely fine. So eventually, everything makes its way to this point here. So we've got the stone coming from this, we've got the iron nuggets, which occasionally come from that. It's just really slow. And they make their way here along this tiny little conveyor belt. This is so compact, and I love it. Where basically, the first iron nugget gets deployed, then of course it holds it in place and waits for the second iron nugget to get deployed. The one thing is, it's currently waiting to fill up with iron nuggets, because yeah, I think this thing has to reach a full stack, then this chute might need to reach a full stack, and then finally this one will start filling up. And it's only once this one starts filling up that things are actually gonna get moving. But to be honest, that's fine, because we've got plenty. And like, seeing as train tracks aren't going to be a massive thing, like we aren't working on it too often, we don't need to be producing these too quick. And at the end of the day, if I want to speed it up, I can fit a tiny little like iron farm here. But yeah, so eventually everything moves along the conveyor belt, it gets compressed down, and then this launches it right up into here. And because this has an item filter of train tracks, what that means is this isn't going to launch the incomplete tracks until they have been compressed down and actually finished. It's really quite fun. And I do kind of want to make one of these that just launches you miles away. Maybe that could be a fun way of transport. I could set one of them up here. Oh my god, sorry, I'm just thinking that would just be a really fun thing. You know how I kind of wander around whenever I'm talking? I could just set it up so that I've got a little route that I follow, and it just launches me like up there onto the roof, launches me across, launches me back down and everything. I just make my way around in a circle. But yeah, I will show you this working. The one thing is, I am actually going to need to set up a proper iron farm again at some point. That is why I have run out of iron. Please tell me I chucked some in a chest somewhere. Anything in the basin? There's 3 iron nuggets in here. Have I got any spare in here? No. I know that there's none in the mines. I've taken it all out. Is it dumped in all of the chests here? Because I had to go and dump a bunch of stuff. No? Okay, so next episode, iron farm. We're setting up an iron farm. I didn't realize I had completely run out. I thought I had left at least a little bit. But okay, I can show you this working 3 times because I've only got 3 iron nuggets to put in this thing. But basically, if I give that some iron nuggets, there we go. So first bit of track done, and it basically just does this over and over again, and yep, there we go, and it flies in there. It's fun to watch, it's just not gonna work because yeah, that is super slow. So yeah, at least I don't need to come up with an objective for next episode, because we're just gonna need to make an iron farm desperately.